I love supporting local businesses. And one of my favorites is the new startup mobile bartending company, Bartending Fanatics, based out of Jersey City. In a nutshell, if you are in the New Jersey, NYC metro area and in search of a bartender or bartenders for a private event or party, look no further. With unique and original mixed drinks to the classic cocktails, as well as reasonable rates, Bartending Fanatics rocks. For more information, check out their Facebook or Instagram page. Good evening, my friends, and welcome to a brand new episode of Terror Radio Podcast. If this is your first time joining me, then welcome. This is a podcast dedicated in bringing you the best of horror and thriller, old-time radio broadcasts, as well as original stories. I'm your host, Keith, aka the Radio Show Nerd, and again, happy October. As we all know, this is my favorite month. And tonight's episode is entitled Bonechilling Tales. So without further ado, this is Terror Radio. The two radio series highlighted tonight are Chamber of Horrors and Nightfall. Now, Chamber of Horrors is somewhat of a mystery, unattended. I researched for days and found no information about this series. I'm beginning to believe that it was a one-off Halloween special episode, being that the host, who you can definitely tell is Raymond Edward Johnson from Inner Sanctum, speaks about Halloween. And the actor, William Conrad, performs a particular radio play that was done on Suspense in 1956. This radio play is an adaptation of the popular short story The Waxwork. And granted, I have featured this on Terror Radio with various adaptations, but I truly like this one, being that it's just one person narrating the entire story. And unfortunately, I was not able to find the date of this presentation. Following that is the radio play Wildcats. And this was first broadcasted on February 27th, 1981 on NIGHTFALL. Now, you all know the drill. Sit back, turn down the lights, and listen to the Waxworks, followed by Wildcats.
Good evening, worshippers of Halloween, admirers of the ghostly and the ghastly. Welcome to my Chamber of Horrors. And let me tell you a terrible tale of terror. My wife will be so pleased you've come. I'm sure she'll want to serve you for dinner. Come over here by the coffin, won't you? But leave your coat on. I'm going to tell some chilling stories tonight. Bone chilling on this Halloween. That's right. Bundle up tight. It would really be a pity if you caught a cold, because then you might leave here coughing. Or should I say, in a coffin. And now, friend, turn your lights down low. If you have the nerve. In fact, turn them out. I dare. And listen to a classic tale of terror. the Waxwork. No actors other than Mr. William Conrad. Oh, yes, originally there were 15, but 14 died in rehearsal. Leaving only Mr. Conrad to carry on. So here he is, in the Waxwork.
While the uniformed attendants of Mariner's Waxworks were ushering the last stragglers through the great glass-paneled double doors, the manager sat in his office interviewing Raymond Hewson. The manager was speaking.
Oh, there's nothing new in your request, sir. And in fact, we refuse it to different people, mostly young bloods who've tried to make bets about 3 times a week, I should say. We have nothing to gain, something to lose by letting people spend the night in our murderer's den. If I allowed it and some young idiot lost his senses, what would be my position, eh? But your being a journalist somewhat alters the case.
Hewson smiled. I suppose you mean that journalists have no senses to lose.
No, of course not. But one imagines them to be responsible people. Besides, we have something to gain here. Publicity and advertisement.
Yes, exactly, said Hewson. And there I thought we might come to terms. The manager smiled.
Yes, I know what's coming. You want to be paid twice, do you? You know, it used to be said years ago that Madame Tussaud would give a man £100 for sleeping alone in the Chamber of Horrors. Well, I hope you don't think that we've made any such offer. What is your paper, Mr. Hewson?
Well, I'm freelancing at present, sir, working on space for several papers. However, I would find no difficulty in getting the story printed. I'm sure the Morning Echo would use it like a shot. A night with Mariner's murderers. No live paper could turn it down, sir.
Yes. How do you propose to treat it?
Well, I shall make it gruesome, of course. Gruesome with just a saving touch of humor.
The manager nodded and offered Hewson his cigarette case. Very well, Mr. Hewson. You get your story printed in the Morning Echo, and there'll be a £5 note waiting for you when you care to come and call for it. But, first of all, you realize it's no small ordeal that you're proposing to undertake. I'd like to be quite sure about you. I'd like you to be quite sure about yourself. I own I shouldn't care to take it on. I should hate having to sleep down there, alone, among them.
Why? Asked Hewson.
Oh, I don't know. Isn't any reason, I suppose. I don't believe in ghosts. If I did, I should expect them to haunt the scene of their crimes or the spots where their bodies were laid, instead of a cellar which happens to contain their waxwork effigies. Well, it's just that I couldn't sit alone among them all night with her seeming to stare at me in the way they do. After all, they represent the lowest and the most appalling types of humanity. Well, the whole atmosphere of the place is unpleasant. And if you're susceptible to atmosphere, sir, I warn you that you're in for a very uncomfortable night.
Hewson had known that from the moment when the idea first occurred to him. His soul sickened at the prospect. But he had a wife and a family to keep. So here was a chance not to be missed. The price of a special story in the Morning Echo with a £5 note to add to it. Besides, if he wrote the story well, it might lead to an offer of regular employment. The manager smiled at him and rose.
Well, I think the last of the people must have gone by now. Oh, there is one condition I'm afraid I must impose upon you, sir. I must ask you not to smoke. We had a fire scare down on the murderer's den this evening. I don't know who gave the alarm, but whoever it was a false one. Fortunately, there were very few people down there at the time, or there might have been a panic. Now, if you're ready, we'll make a move.
He led the way through an open barrier and down ill-lit stone stairs, which conveyed a sinister impression of giving access to a dungeon. In a passage at the bottom were a few preliminary horrors, such as relics of the Inquisition, a rack taken from a medieval castle, branding irons, thumb screws, and other mementos of man's cruelty to man. Beyond the passage, was the murderer's den. It was a room of irregular shape, with a vaulted roof and dimly lit by electric lights, burning behind inverted bowls of frosted glass. It was, by design, an eerie and uncomfortable chamber, a chamber whose atmosphere invited its visitors to speak in whispers. The waxwork murderers stood on low pedestals with numbered tickets at their feet. Recent notorieties rubbed dusty shoulders with the old favorites. Fertel, the murderer of Weir, stood as if frozen in the act of making a shop window gesture to young Bywaters. And there was Lefroy, the poor half-baked little snob who killed for gain so that he might ape the gentleman. Within 5 yards of him sat Mrs. Thompson, that erotic romanticist hanged to propitiate British middle-class matronhood. Charles Peace, the only member of the vile company who looked uncompromisingly and entirely evil, sneered across a gangway at Norman Thorne. Brown and Kennedy, the two most recent additions, stood between Mrs. Dyer and Patrick Mahan. The manager, walking around with Houston, pointed out several of the more interesting of these unholy notabilities. That's Crippen. I expect you recognize him, insignificant little beast who looked as if he couldn't tread on a worm. Oh, and that's Armstrong. That looks like a decent, harmless country gentleman, doesn't he? And there's old Vaquier. You can't miss him, of course, because of his beard. And this one... Who's that? Houston asked in a whisper. Here, come here. Have a good look at him. Huh? This is our star turn. He's the only one of the bunch that hasn't been hanged. The figure which Houston had indicated was that of a small, slight man, not much more than 5 feet in height. It wore little waxed mustaches, large spectacles, and a caped coat. There was something so exaggeratedly French in its appearance that it reminded Houston of a stage caricature. He could not have said precisely why the mild-looking face seemed to him so repellent, but he'd already recoiled a step, and even in the manager's company it cost him an effort to look again. But who is he asked. That, said the manager, is Dr. Baudet. Houston shook his head doubtfully. I think I've heard the name, but I forget in connection with what. The manager smiled. You'd remember better if you were a Frenchman. You know, for some long while, that man was the terror of Paris. He carried on his work of healing by day and of throat-cutting by night. Why, he killed for the sheer devilish pleasure it gave him to kill, and always in the same way, with a razor. After his last crime, he left a clue behind him which set the police upon his track. Oh, but he was much too clever for them. When he realized that the coils were closing about him, he mysteriously disappeared. And ever since, the police of every civilized country have been looking for him. There's no doubt that he managed to make away with himself, and by some means which has prevented his body coming to light. 1 or 2 crimes of a similar nature have taken place since his disappearance, but he is believed almost for certain to be dead, and the experts believe these recrudescences to be the work of an imitator. It's queer, isn't it, Miss Houston? How every notorious murderer has imitators. Houston shuddered and fidgeted with his feet. I don't like him at all. What eyes he's got. Yes, this figure's a little masterpiece. You find the eyes bite into you, huh? Well, that's excellent realism, then, for Baudet practiced mesmerism and was supposed to mesmerize his victims before dispatching them. Indeed, had he not done so, it's impossible to see how so small a man could have done his ghastly work. There were never any signs of struggle. I thought I saw him move, said Houston with a catch in his voice. The manager smiled. You'll have more than one optical illusion before the night's out, I expect, sir. Well, I'm sorry I can't give you any more light because all the lights are on. For obvious reasons, we keep this place as gloomy as possible, eh? Well, Mr. Houston, good night. Houston wheeled a swivel chair, a heavy one upholstered in plush, a little way down the central gangway, and deliberately turned it so that its back was toward the effigy of Dr. Baudet. For some undefined reason, he liked Dr. Baudet a great deal less than his companions. Busying himself with arranging the chair, he was almost lighthearted. But when the manager's footfalls had died away and a deep hush stole over the chamber, he realized that he had no slight ordeal before him. Among the many figures standing in stiff, unnatural poses, the effigy of the dreadful little doctor stood out with a queer prominence, perhaps because of a steady beam of light beat straight down upon it. Houston flinched before the parody of mildness which some fiendishly skilled craftsman had managed to convey in wax, met the eyes for one agonized second, and then turned again to face the other direction. He's only a waxwork like the rest of you, Houston muttered defiantly. You're all only waxworks. They were only waxworks, yes. But waxworks don't move. Oh, not that he had seen the least movement anywhere, but it struck him that in the moment or two while he'd looked behind him, there had been the least subtle change in the grouping of the figures in front. Crippen, for instance, seemed to have turned at least 1 degree to the left. Or, thought Houston, perhaps the illusion was due to the fact that he had not slewed his chair back into its exact original position. Oh, but there were Brown and Kennedy, too. Surely one of them had moved his hands. Houston held his breath for a moment and then drew his courage back to him as a man lifts a weight. He took a notebook from his pocket and wrote quickly, Memo, deathly silence and unearthly stillness of figures. Like being at bottom of sea. Hypnotic eyes, Dr. Baudet. Figures seem to move when not being watched. He closed the book suddenly over his fingers and looked around quickly and awfully over his right shoulder. He had neither seen nor heard a movement, but it was as if some sixth sense had made him aware of one. He looked straight into the vapid countenance of Lefroy, which smiled vacantly back as if to say, it wasn't I. No, of course it wasn't he, or any of them. It was his own nerves. Or was it? Then why all that silent unrest about him? A subtle something in the air which did not quite break the silence and happened, whichever way he looked, just beyond the boundaries of his vision. He swung round quickly to encounter the mild but baleful stare of Dr. Baudet. And then, without warning, he jerked his head back to stare straight at Crippen. He'd nearly caught Crippen that time. You'd better be careful, Crippen, and all the rest of you. If I do see one of you move, I'll smash you to pieces. Do you hear? He ought to go, he told himself. Already he'd experienced enough to write his story, or 10 stories for the matter of that. Well, then, why not go? The Morning Echo would be none the wiser as to how long he'd stayed. Nor would it care so long as his story was a good one. Yes, but the manager... One never knew. Perhaps the manager would quibble over that 5-pound note which he needed so badly. He wondered if his wife were asleep, or if she were lying awake and thinking of him. She'd laugh when he told her that he'd imagined... This was a little too much. It was bad enough that the waxwork effigies of murderers should move when they weren't being watched, but it was intolerable that they should breathe. Somebody was breathing. Or was it his own breath which sounded to him as if it came from a distance? He sat rigid, listening, straining, until he exhaled with a long sigh. His own breath, after all. Or, if not, something had divined that he was listening and had ceased breathing simultaneously. Houston turned his head swiftly around and looked all about him out of haggard and hunted eyes. Everywhere his gaze encountered the vacant, waxen faces. And everywhere he felt that by just some least fraction of a second he had missed seeing a movement of hand or foot, a silent opening, a compression of lips, a flicker of eyelids, a look of human intelligence now smoothed out. They were like naughty children in a classroom, whispering, fidgeting, and laughing behind their teacher's back, but blandly innocent when his gaze was turned upon them. No, this would not do. This distinctly would not do. He must clutch at something, grip with his mind upon something which belonged essentially to the workaday world, to the daylight London streets. He was Raymond Houston, an unsuccessful journalist, a living and breathing man, and these figures grouped around him were only dummies, so they could neither move nor whisper. Oh, what did it matter if they were supposed to be lifelike effigies of murderers? They were only made of wax and sawdust and stood there for the entertainment of morbid sightseers and orange-sucking trippers. Oh, that was better. Now, what was that funny story which somebody had told him in the Falstaff pub yesterday? Oh, yes. He recalled part of it, but not all. For the gaze of Dr. Baudet urged, challenged, and finally compelled him to turn. Houston half turned and then swung his chair so as to bring him face to face with the wearer of those dreadful hypnotic eyes. His own eyes were dilated, and his mouth at first set in a grin of terror, lifted at the corners in a snarl, and then Houston spoke and woke 100 sinister echoes. You moved! Yes, you did, you moved! I saw you! You moved! Then he sat quite still, staring straight before him, like a man found frozen in the Arctic snows. Dr. Baudet's movements were leisurely. He stepped off his pedestal with the mincing care of a lady alighting from a bus. The platform stood about 2 feet from the ground. Above the edge of it, a plush-covered rope hung in arc-like curves. Dr. Baudet lifted up the rope until it formed an arch for him to pass under, stepped off the platform, and sat down on the edge, facing Houston. Then he nodded and smiled and said, "Good evening. I need hardly tell you that not until I overheard the conversation between you and the worthy manager of this establishment did I suspect that I should have the pleasure of a companion here for the night. You cannot move or speak without my bidding, but you can hear me perfectly well. Something tells me that you are, shall I say, nervous? My dear sir, I have no illusions. I am not one of these contemptible effigies miraculously come to life. I am Dr. Baudet himself." He paused, coughed, and shifted his legs. Pardon me, but I am a little stiff. Please, let me explain. Circumstances with which I need not fatigue you have made it desirable that I should live in England. I was close to this building this evening when I saw a policeman. Regarding me, I thought a little too curiously. I guessed that he intended to follow and perhaps ask me embarrassing questions, so I mingled with the crowd and came in here. A coin bought my admission to the chamber in which we now meet, and an inspiration showed me a certain means of escape. I raised a cry of fire, and when all the fools had rushed to the stairs, I stripped my effigy of the caped coat which you behold me wearing, donned it, hid my effigy under the platform at the back, and took its place on the pedestal. The manager's description of me, which I had the embarrassment of being compelled to overhear, was biased, but not altogether inaccurate. clearly, I am not dead. Although it is as well that the world think otherwise, no? Is account of my hobby, which I have indulged for years, although through necessity less frequently of late, was remained true. For you see, the world is divided between collectors and non-collectors. With the non-collectors, we are not concerned, eh? The collectors collect anything according to their individual taste, from money to cigarette cards, from malls to matchboxes. I collect throats.
He paused again and regarded Hewson's throat with interest, mingled with disfavor.
I am obliged for the chance which brought us together tonight, and perhaps it would seem ungrateful to complain. From motives of personal safety, my activities have been somewhat curtailed of late years, and I am glad of this opportunity of gratifying my somewhat unusual whim. But you, sir, you have such a skinny neck. If you will overlook a personal remark, I should never have selected you from choice. I like men with thick necks. Thick, red necks.
He fumbled in an inside pocket and took out something which he tested against a wet forefinger, and then proceeded to pass gently to and fro across the palm of his left hand.
This is a little French razor. The blade, you will observe, is very narrow. They do not cut very deep, but deep enough. In just one little moment, you shall see for yourself. And now, I shall ask you the little civil question of all the polite barbers. Does the razor suit you, sir?
He rose up, a diminutive but menacing figure of evil, and approached Hewson with a silent, furtive step of a hunting panther.
You will have the goodness to raise your chin a little, eh? Thank you. And a little more, just a little more. Thank you. Merci, monsieur. Merci, merci. Merci.
Over one end of the chamber was a thick skylight of frosted glass, which by day let in a few sickly and filtered rays from the floor above. After sunrise, these began to mingle with the subdued light from the electric bulbs. And this mingled illumination added a certain ghastliness to a scene which needed no additional touch of horror. The waxwork figures stood apathetically in their places, waiting to be admired or execrated by the crowds who would presently wander fearfully among them. In their midst, in the center gangway, Hewson sat still, leaning far back in his swivel chair. His chin was up-tilted as if he were waiting to receive attention from a barber. And although there was not a scratch upon his throat, nor anywhere upon his body, he was cold and dead. Dr. Baudet, on his pedestal, watched the dead man unemotionally. He did not move, nor was he capable of motion. But then, after all, he was only a waxwork.
Well, friend, I do hope that you savored our gruesome little tale of terror and tallow called the Waxwork. I just wonder if you had the nerve to listen with your lights turned off. If you did, it's time to turn them on again. Go ahead. Just don't sit there. Get up. Well, what do you know? Stone dead.
Good evening. Tonight we have a nasty little piece for wayward strangers, even if they eventually turn out to be you. The play, based on the German short story by Christian Noack, and dramatized especially for this series by Otto Lowy, is called Wildcats.
Sir!
Yes?
Did you just get off that express?
Yes, why?
It doesn't stop at this station, you know.
Oh, but obviously it did.
Never does.
I just got off it, so why did
Only
it?
because of some trouble down the line. Picked up a work crew, I suppose.
I was told my village was the first stop.
Sorry, this can't be it. First regular stop is a good 2 hours farther on.
When's the next train back?
There's a local tomorrow. 6 in the morning.
Tomorrow morning.
6 a.m.
And there's no other way?
No.
All right. I suppose it can't be helped. Where's the waiting room?
The waiting room is closed.
Closed?
Since sundown.
Well, is there some place in this godforsaken hole I can stay overnight?
Right opposite the station, a small hotel.
That old barn over there.
Only one we got.
But they don't even have a light on.
They're asleep. You'll have to knock on the door. Bell's broken.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Yes? Is something the matter?
No, nothing the matter, but I'd like to rent a room.
A room?
Yes, for tonight.
Just a minute, please.
You want a room?
Well, this is a hotel, isn't it?
Just step back, please. I want to see your face.
All right. You like my face?
Thank you. That'll do. I'm coming down.
Oh, everything takes ages. What a place. I suppose I can't expect anything else. I want to see your face. I just hope the beds are clean.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Come in.
Thank you.
My sister is airing your room. Sorry if we seemed a little suspicious. But you see, we're alone in the house. And we're afraid when it gets dark.
What are you afraid of?
Wildcats.
Wildcats?
They come in the dark. I can't stand to hear them shriek when the moon is full.
Wildcats? In this part of the country?
They ought to shoot them before they do a lot of damage. We've written again and again to the government about it. But the government doesn't care. They never answer our letters.
Are you sure you're talking about wildcats?
Are you from the government?
No, I'm not. But I can't imagine wildcats here in this country. I'd like to see one.
Oh, it's too late now.
I beg your pardon?
They're gone.
Well, maybe they'll come back.
They only come when we're alone.
I see.
Good evening. Your room is ready.
This is my sister Olympia. Miss Olympia.
Delighted to meet you.
Would you mind signing the guest book, please? Bernd. That's an intelligent-sounding name.
Is it? Where's the telephone, please?
We have no telephone.
Is there one in the village?
There is no village. Only this house and the railway station.
I'm sorry I had to get you out of bed because of me.
Oh, we are the ones who must apologize.
It's not very often that we have guests.
Well, then, may I wish you a good night?
That's very kind of you.
Very kind indeed.
And may I take your...
No, thank you, but I insist on carrying my suitcase up myself.
When do you want us to wake you?
I'm afraid rather early. Shall we say, 5 o'clock?
You're taking the early train?
Yes, the 6 o'clock.
We'll have your breakfast ready.
Mm-hmm.
Are you feeling ill, Mr. Bent? You look pale, tired. Olympia, doesn't Mr. Bent look tired?
Let me look closer.
Can't you see? I think Mr. Bent looks very tired.
Well, as a matter of fact, I do feel rather weary.
My sister is quite right. You do look tired. Is there anything we can do for you?
Anything at all?
I wonder if it's too late for coffee.
Strong coffee? Milk and sugar?
That would be very nice, thank you.
Will you be able to sleep after coffee?
Oh, I'm used to it.
Melanie will bring a tray to your room. Of course, it'll take a few minutes.
Oh, that's all right. Thank you very much.
The coffee won't be long. Does he like the room?
Yes, he says it's quite adequate.
He's got lovely hands. Did you notice his hands?
I only noticed his eyes. Where is the guest book, Olympia?
On the desk, where he signed it. Beautiful hands. One's life story is written in the palm. But not in the eyes, I think.
Here's the book. Now, let's see. Bent. Julian. Born August the 17th.
What are you doing with that book? I didn't want you to...
His name is Julian.
A coincidence. Just a silly coincidence.
I thought the name didn't exist anymore.
Come and sit down, Melanie.
He has the same eyes. Julian's. I remember his eyes.
That's just your imagination. You need more rest. A good night's sleep. Your Julian is dead. A long time ago. You forgot that.
Did I? But I didn't forget his eyes.
This is another Julian. A stranger. It's just a coincidence that his name is Julian.
Will he go away again?
Of course he'll go away again.
It may be years before another man comes. Somebody who's lost his way and wants to rent a room. Perhaps nobody will ever come again. Who's going to look after us? We'll be all alone, always. When it gets dark, we bolt the door and go to bed. We depend on each other. But one day...
Now, Melanie.
If something should happen to you, Olympia, if you should someday...
Stop. Please stop.
No. No, don't be a coward, Olympia. Listen to me. What will happen to me if you die, Olympia? What shall I do? We are the last. We have no family, no friends, not even neighbors. Who will I call? Only the authorities.
Everything will be all right in the morning. We'll go to the village and talk to the people. You'll enjoy that, Melanie.
Is the coffee ready?
I'll take it up. You can go to bed now. I'll give you something to make you sleep.
I don't want to sleep. Not tonight. We have a visitor named Julian. Light the candles in the parlor.
The parlor?
Let's stay up, as we used to do.
Oh.
You read to me, and I'll mend the tablecloth.
Oh, that's a pleasant idea. We haven't sat in the parlor for ages. I'll go and take the dust covers off the furniture.
Strange. Everything can change all of a sudden. Everything can change. Julian.
What will change?
Everything. If he stays, if we make him stay...
Melanie, you're not going to...
Give me the coffee. The way I mix it, he'll have no trouble sleeping.
Melanie, perhaps he has a family or someone who's waiting for him.
Didn't we wait for him? Have you forgotten how lonely we were, Olympia?
He'll stay, Melanie. He'll need us. You won't have to do anything.
Mr. Burns? It's 5 o'clock, Mr. Burns. Can you hear me? 5 o'clock. He's locked himself in.
I wonder why.
I'll ask the man at the station to break down the door.
Isn't that dangerous? The station master broke down the door once before. He could become suspicious.
This is our house, and we can have our doors broken as often as we want.
Oh.
You're going to get your bicycle and go to the village, Olympia. I need something from the drugstore.
Morphine?
And see if the florist has some roses.
Roses?
He'll wake up tonight. He'll call us. We'll be company for him. Are you ready, Olympia?
I will be in a minute.
Hurry up. He could wake up at any moment. We'll ask him questions. They always tell the truth just before they're quite awake.
Papa always answered the most intimate questions.
Thanks to morphine, they are too weak to lie. Look at me. Have you put on lipstick?
I ate candied cherries.
Don't lie to me. You even put on rouge?
At my age, if I want to put on rouge, I'll put on rouge. After all, you put a rose in your hair, a red rose. You're also wearing some of Mama's jewelry, the garnets.
The jewelry is mine. It belongs to me. Papa gave it to me.
You shouldn't have. The garnets are Mama's. When she left, she was looking for her jewelry. She looked everywhere for it. You hid it.
Be quiet.
And I know where you hid it. In the hothouse. Under the oleander trees.
You take that back. You take that back right now. You wanted the jewelry for yourself the way you wanted Papa for yourself. Hypocrite.
Oh.
But I've always known. Always. I could see right through you, Olympia.
Why, you...
Olympia, did I hurt your feelings?
Melanie, we quarrel like wildcats.
Sorry, but I simply don't understand. I can't seem to remember how it all started.
When you were about to go to your room, I asked you if you felt ill. Remember?
Oh, I'm not sure.
You wanted us to wake you at 5 a.m. because you didn't answer when we knocked. We had the door forced open.
It was locked, you see.
And you were unconscious.
Oh, I'm sorry to have caused you so much trouble.
May we sit down?
Of course.
I'll watch the clock for you. In half an hour, you'll go back to bed like a good boy. We'll take your temperature and give you another injection.
Another injection?
Dr. Webb's orders.
With a bit of luck, you will be able to get up for half an hour tomorrow and take a walk. We'll show you the fish ponds.
And yet, I don't seem to feel ill, just sort of weak.
Actually, you were lucky, you know. Nobody could look after you better than my sister and I. We are trained nurses. We've got certificates.
Why did it have to happen to me, of all people?
Does it surprise you?
Frankly, yes.
Then you weren't prepared.
Prepared for what?
For the unusual.
It happens to all of us.
Sooner or later.
Sometimes it's only a dream.
A nightmare.
Nobody is spared.
Nobody is forgotten.
It helps us remain humble.
Humble?
Do you understand what we mean?
Oh, I'm not sure.
But you don't find us ridiculous.
Ridiculous? No.
Do you want to be alone?
Do you want us to go?
Well, you must have more important things to do than look after me.
We have nothing to do.
Nothing important.
Then I wish you'd stay. I like talking to you. I seem to remember your inn is called the Blue Trout. Are there still trout around here?
There used to be.
Our guests used to arrive by horse-drawn carriages. This was a favorite resort, with all sorts of things to see.
Yes.
Artificial waterfalls, fish ponds, grottos made of shells, and castles of rock.
Ah, yes. It was charming.
Tiny Japanese bridges connected the ponds. There was even a maze of laurel bushes. Everybody's favorite was a pavilion with copies of the 7 wonders of the world in mother of pearl. Oh, we never had a dead season.
Then they built the railroad for trains that didn't stop. And it became so quiet here.
The ponds turned into swamp.
We were terribly lonely. You stop caring when you're alone.
Don't you ever have any visitors?
We don't have any neighbors.
We live alone. Just 2 old ladies in this big house.
You weren't always alone, were you?
We accepted our fate. And it was our lot to nurse a sick man. There was no other way.
We nursed him for 36 years, day and night.
Until he died.
Who was he?
Our father.
Papa was very ill. He was helpless without us. We had to feed him like a child.
He hated strangers. That's why only Melanie and I nursed him.
We accepted his pain. You see, suffering was our fate.
He was always afraid of losing us. When Melanie became engaged to a doctor, Papa did something terrible.
Be quiet, Olympia. I don't think Mr. Bent is interested.
Go on. I'd like to hear it.
Papa cut his own wrist.
Olympia.
Oh, my God. And your fiancé?
Tell him, Melanie.
I had to give him up. By the way, his name was Julian, like yours.
You both became nurses. Why didn't he allow one of you to marry?
I was on night shift.
Night shift?
And I was on day shift.
You mean you worked around the clock, as in a hospital?
Yes.
We wore uniforms, just like a hospital.
When did your father die?
3 years ago. He suffered a lot of pain the last few weeks.
You gave him the best of care.
Old Dr. Webb was stingy. We had to beg for every ounce of morphine. In the end, we stole Dr. Webb's prescription forms. Then we wrote prescriptions ourselves.
It was the only way.
We couldn't stand Papa's cries.
You mustn't condemn us. You'd have done the same.
He's asleep. Olympia, what have we done? Why did we tell him? He's a stranger. He'll go to the police.
Calm down, Melanie. Mr. Barrett is no stranger. He's sick. And you have the privilege of nursing him for a while.
Yes, of course. I'll do whatever you...
Until he is better. Or till he has to go to the hospital. It'll depend on Dr. Webb. Have you forgotten, Melanie?
Where did I put Mr. Burns' letter? I know I put it somewhere. I remember Olympia giving it back to me. And then I A letter can't just disappear. Where did I put it? It's a lovely letter. He asks for his wife's forgiveness with no vengeance, despite what she's done to him. He apologizes for leaving her after she confessed to being unfaithful with another man.
Melanie.
Have you found the letter?
I mailed it for you.
You only say that to tease me. You sealed that letter and hid it to keep it for yourself. Please, Olympia, tell me, did you really mail that letter? If you did, she could find out. She could come here and take him away.
I mailed the letter.
I think I'll give him a double dose, a full syringe, in the night. Yes, that's when I'll do it. When she gets here, he'll have fainted. We'll say Dr. Webb had an accident. And where is it? Where's the morphine? Olympia?
We have no morphine.
The prescription pad. Where did I put it? The prescriptions?
We have no prescriptions either. I burnt everything.
Burnt? Burnt everything? No morphine? You betrayed me, Olympia. You're sending him away. We'll be alone again.
Melanie, don't you understand what we've done?
Not again, Olympia. We'll never be alone again. Let them wait out there.
Melanie,
The Wildcats. They're waiting for us. They're taking their time. They're waiting for him to go. When it gets dark, we must bolt the door. I can't stand the shrieks.
Melanie, what are you doing? Put the letter opener down. Melanie, not your wrist.
Come in.
I brought you your supper.
Oh, thank you. Matter of fact, I am rather hungry.
That's good. I hope you like it. I just come from Dr. Webb's office. He sends his regards.
Oh, Dr. Webb sends regards?
Yes. Sorry, but I'm afraid every time Dr. Webb comes, you're asleep. He was here first thing in the morning.
What did he say?
The blood test was negative.
Negative? Well, that means it's...
Everything is fine. Just some sort of flu bug, probably.
Oh.
Dr. Webb said he'll look in again tomorrow night. But if you feel well enough, it will be all right for you to leave in the morning.
Well, I think I'd better take the first train.
I'll wake you just before 5. That'll give you plenty of time for breakfast.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else?
Yes. If it was only a blood test, only flu, why the... morphine?
It makes one tell the truth.
But did you doubt anything I told you?
We didn't know what to think. The train mysteriously stopped, and you got off.
Yes. Yes, it was all a mistake.
We were suspicious, but we took you in. Don't think harshly of us, Mr. Barrett. We took you in and made you well again.
Olympia, what are you doing?
I packed the small suitcase.
Are we going away?
Yes, you're going away.
Where? Are they coming for me?
You won't know anything about it. You'll be asleep. I gave you something to make you sleep.
Did I give you trouble?
Please.
Did I?
Please lie still.
What did I do?
The same as Papa.
The wrists?
Yes. I'll come and see you as often as I can.
I'll be at the window.
It'll only take 2 hours by cab.
My eyes. I'm sleepy.
You'll sleep.
When will they come?
Don't think of it.
You'll be alone. Watch out for the Wildcats.
I'll put out some milk when it's dark, so they won't harm me.
Why didn't we think of feeding them before? Perhaps they'd have loved us. If we die, only the authorities will know about it. It doesn't matter if we live or die. It doesn't matter.
There.
That's why I'm afraid.
Don't be afraid, dear Melanie. Sleep now. And forgive me.
I'm sorry I couldn't say goodbye to your sister.
She wanted to get up and say goodbye to you, but I wouldn't let her. At her age, one shouldn't take a cold too lightly.
Last night, I heard a car pull up.
Yes, we had guests.
Good morning, Miss Olympia.
Good morning.
Well, now you'll be all alone again, just the two of you.
Oh, we'll find things to do.
Well, all the best to you and your sister.
You'll have to get on quickly. Will you please wave from the window?
Maybe I'll come back again sometime.
Yes. They all say that. You haven't forgotten anything, have you?
I don't think so.
Are they expecting you?
Pardon me?
Is someone expecting you?
Oh, yes. Somebody's expecting me.
I'm so glad for you.
What did you say?
I said I'm so glad.
Well, thank you. Don't forget to give my address to Dr. Webb. Please tell him to send me his bill. And thanks again for everything.
Goodbye.
No use waving to him now. Can't see you anymore.
Yes. How silly.
How's your sister?
She's gone on a trip.
A long trip?
Yes, a long trip. Melanie! Oh, Melanie. Melanie, I've never heard them before. Dark. They come after dark when the motor's full and when you're alone. Oh.
That's our show for tonight. I want to thank you all for listening. And remember, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/terror1970, or you can find me on Instagram at Radio Show Nerd. I also have a YouTube channel where I feature vintage television series as well as radio shows. Please check it out. Like and subscribe. Share the videos. It would be highly appreciated. Again, this is your host, Keith, better known as the Radio Show Nerd, signing off.